Here's a couple more stories I found about Les Paul's guitars. The one he's talking about an acoustic guitar that Les Paul would take apart all the guitars and modify them to get a different sound out of them. But the second story I thought was interesting. It's Les Paul found a Les Paul copy, and he gave it to this guy, and it's just interesting. Rather than reiterating what he's saying, but the other thing that I found, I did a little more research on this guy, Jimmy. He became the mayor of Mahwah, New Jersey, and then they have a museum for Les Paul in Mahwah, New Jersey, which is very cool. So you can go there and see guitars and recording gear and that kind of stuff. But I did a little search on this guy's name, Jimmy. I can't pronounce his last name, but he did. There's a video up, and I'll just put the link in the description. There's no reason for me to rebroadcast it. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, and him and this other guy in Jimmy's house, and going through a bunch of Les Paul's gear and all the stories that he's telling, which is just fascinating. But here, right after, I'm going to just play the video so you can see the two videos of the acoustic guitar and the Les Paul copy. So I hope you enjoy this.
Like the next guitar in the collection is a 1973 classical Gibson, and the idea Les had with these, Les would talk about murdering a guitar, and I'd ask him what he meant by murdering a guitar. He said, when I got a guitar, he goes, I wanted to get a sound out of it, and it was a specific sound that I only knew. And the only way to do it was to murder it. I said, what? How do you do it? He said, just about most of my guitars I murder, I cut a hole in the back. And that allows me access into the back of the guitar where I can take my different pickups that I make, and I can make them and I can attach them to the body of the guitar. And on this particular guitar, what Les did, he put a metal bridge in, and he attached that pickup to the metal bridge. And I said, why'd you do that? He said, because the magnet will interact with the metal bridge, which will in fact interact with some of the metal strings I put on. He said, it's just an experiment that I had, and I wrote my notes on it. And there's another one. He said, Jimmy, under your bed for a rainy day. So I finally got to the point. I said, Les, I can't take any more guitars. He's like, why not? I said, I don't have any more room under my bed. And he said, simple, Jimmy, get a bigger bed. Over the course of the year, the 2 years, 3 years, I was a regular at Les's house 1, 2, 3 times a week. Sometimes he would call just to come over, talk, or he had a problem with something in the house and I'd help him fix it. Not that I was the biggest mechanic of appliance repair in the world, but I think he liked to have the company over the house. So he called me up one day. He said, Jimmy, come on over. I want to show you something. So when I got to the house, he pulled out this guitar. I said, what the heck is this? He said, it's a fake Les Paul. It came from China or Japan. And he said there was a big lawsuit about it because it was the design. Everything had the Les Paul design except the name. It had the trapezoid, but it didn't say Les Paul. He said, I love the guitar because of all the features. It's like my recording model, but there's extra ones here. There's an on-off switch, and there's a button here that acts as a preamp, and the battery in the back also acts as a preamp for the guitar. He said, I really like it. I took the idea to Gibson. They really didn't like it. So it kind of sits here. He goes, I want you to have it. I said, Les, come on. He said, put it under your bed for a rainy day. I said, but it's a fake. So he autographed it. He said, not anymore. He goes, wait a minute. I'll do one better. So he looked through his junk drawer. And this drawer was at the kitchen counter, and it had everything from files to tape to scissors to soldering guns. He's like, I'm looking for something. So he pulled out this clear Les Paul sticker. And he said, get me a sponge. And he said, never mind. So Les licked his hand, wiped this white sticker on the back, got it wet, and he stuck it on the back, and he handed it to me. And he said, Jimmy, you have the world's first Les Paul approved fake Les Paul. And so we got a kick out of it. We laughed. But when you play it, it sounds pretty good.